Okay, we are ready to start our Thursday night opportunity webinar, and again, I just want to start off by thanking everyone for being here, for your ability to help us in our beta test process of getting these webinars going up to speed and very effective. Now, tonight I want to introduce myself. My name is Sue Brenchley. I'm a triple diamond with ASEA. I've been with the company for about 4 years now. Absolutely love the product, the opportunity, and the changes that we are making worldwide in people's lives. What I do want to do tonight is just in preparation give you just a little bit of an expectation for our webinar tonight. We are really trying to move into a more opportunity-driven webinar. We are trying to make sure that when people come to an opportunity webinar, they have at least had some exposure, some experience with at least a minor introduction to the basic science, the basic product, the basic results. So hopefully all of you here have been, this isn't your first exposure. It's okay if it is. If it is your first exposure, this is the very first thing that you're seeing about ASEA. We're going to make sure that you get additional information about our product. Hopefully most of you have seen something at this point in time about our product. So I'm going to move right in to asking you some questions. And the key question that I want to start with, here's a great You Are Here map, one of our Google Maps, and I want to ask you a question. Why are you here? Why are you here tonight, spending your time in a webinar setting, listening or hearing about some information in a company? But more importantly, why are you where you are in your life right now, your circumstances? Sometimes we have to just stop and say, how did we get here? Why are we here? And tonight, as we begin this webinar, I want to really challenge you that you're going to leave 30 minutes from now with some new thought processes, with some new information, with some things that hopefully will advance your abilities. So I want to start talking about just a little bit about circumstances and choices, because one of the key things that we have to ask ourselves is, people that view circumstances as the reason that they are where they are in life really do wake up every day and wonder how they got where they are. There's a great saying, your current circumstances don't determine where you go, they merely determine where you start. And this is a concept that a lot of us have to kind of take into consideration right now. And an example of this is a recession. We're undergoing a recession right now, and some people feel victims of the recession, that is something that they can't control, where other people realize that they still have choices. So the people who work on choices, they wake up every day knowing exactly why they are here. And, a good way to do that is just to really think through the choices that you have, where they're going to lead in your life. And so I want to go into a thing called the knowledge quadrant and take you through a process of thinking, a process of understanding the four concepts of knowledge. And we'll start here. You know what you know. I know how to drive a car. There are things that you absolutely know that you know how to do, that you know for certain. On the other hand, you know what you don't know. I know that I don't speak Chinese. I know that I can't read Chinese. Those are things that I know. I could learn them, but I know that I don't know them. Here comes a couple of questions, though. You don't know what you know. And the concept of this is, how many of you didn't know that you could speak to 200 people? You had no idea that you had it in you to do certain things in life, to accomplish certain things in life. But those are things that are innate, you're capable of. They're things that you just don't know that you know yet. But more importantly, here's the final one. You don't know what you don't know. Concept of this is an iceberg. I've often used the analogy that the things that you don't know can hurt you. If you don't know certain things, they can be a big problem. If you don't know that there's an iceberg down below that's bigger than the one up on top, you could be in a lot of trouble. And that's the way life is. It's the things that we don't know. haven't learned yet that sometimes are the obstacles in our life. So if you think about knowledge and you think about this quadrant, which side is limitation? And it certainly is the left side. And, we often talk about this, the comfort zone. These are things that you do know for sure. On the other side, the things that you don't know yet, those are the opportunity side. And more importantly than the opportunity this is the personal development side. This is the thing that if you spend your time in personal development, learning more, understanding more, being more prepared, that really makes a difference. So the question that I have is, where do we spend our time? Do we spend our time in our comfort zone, kind of oblivious to what is not known to us, or do we really spend some effort in that personal development side? And one thing I love about network marketing is the fact that it is more about personal development. We often talk about it as being a personal development course with a compensation plan attached. Poor choices in life are not made because people want to make them. They're just made because they make them off of the best knowledge that they have at the time. What I really hope at the end of this webinar is that you have new information, more information that will allow you to make choices that are going to enrich your life. They're really going to be the rich choices you're now going to be able to make with this new information. We really cannot solve our problems with the same thinking as what created them. So I want to move right into now, what do you want? Every one of us, every person that is on this webinar will hear this message, is looking for something in their life. They want something more. And so let's talk about a few of those things. Some people want to be able to pay for a college education for their children or for themselves. Some people need a new home. It doesn't have to be this big. Some people want big homes. It doesn't matter what it is. It's personal to you. Some people, a new car is the answer. More importantly, and this particular slide this is free time. This is health. This is a picture of what most people really are striving for, and that is a quality of life, which all of these things can do. And one more thing that I think is really important, I know there are other things out there, but a really critical thing is security. And I think that right now in this time and age, a lot of people are suffering because they don't feel that security in their future, and that's what they're searching. So regardless of what it is that is going to enhance your life, what it is that you want, what's going to make your life better, the one thing that we all have to understand is every one of these things are totally dependent on money. Money is the thing that is going to get us to better health. It's going to get us to a better lifestyle. It's going to give us freedom. It's going to allow us to sleep tonight. The quality of our life really is dependent on whether we have enough money for those things that are important. The lack of money really is the problem. So I hope that whatever you've come looking for tonight, we can talk just a little bit about money and how that can solve a lot of your problems. In order to do that, I want to move into the wealth quadrant. There are really 4 streams of money flow into your life. It's your money, it's your effort, it's other people's money, and it's other people's efforts. Everything that you look at can come down to those 4 quadrants of income. So I want to go through just a little bit of an exercise to maybe make you think a little bit differently about money. So I want to start here with unemployment. What stream does unemployment flow from? So in the quadrant, it's other people's efforts. It's other people that produce unemployment or Social Security or any kind of government assistance. An employee, that is definitely a 1 quadrant. It's my effort. When you are an employee, it's 100% dependent on your effort. And if for some reason your effort disappears or the opportunity for your effort disappears, that money stream can dry up. Here's an employee with a 401k. Obviously, it's your effort, but then you invest a little bit of your money. Your employer invests some money in you. And, I don't know how many of you have really healthy 401ks, but most of the 401ks at one point turned into 101ks. It's a great way to add some additional income, but there's also some risk involved. So let's talk about how we get a little bit more than what we can do personally. We move up in life, we become a manager or a supervisor. So it's your effort. Now you've got more responsibility, most of the time more time, but now you're getting paid commensurate with other people's effort. Their effort is going to give you a higher quality of income sources. Now the fun starts coming with an investor. Now, if you're an investor, you've got money to put in. You're able to invest your money. You're able to combine it with other people's money, other people's efforts. And, the one challenge with this is that your money is totally at risk with other people's money and other people's efforts. But here comes a fun one. I want to talk to you about being a CEO, because we all know that CEOs make a lot of money. As a CEO, they've invested into their status. It's other people's money, it's other people's effort, and it's their effort. So now we're finally into the place where people can pull 4 quadrants of money into their resources. And we all know that if you're lucky enough to get to a CEO status, you've usually got a pretty great life. Let's talk about network marketing now and figure out, what does network marketing really look like in a wealth quadrant. And this is how it goes. You invest a little bit of money, small amount of money, into a product or service. I really talk about this as being a risk-free investment, because tax benefits really cover that investment for you. You don't have much at risk, and you're getting great benefit from that investment. But here's how this works. You now invest your effort. And at the beginning, your effort is the biggest amount of the quadrant. As you move forward, you start building your organization. Now, other people have signed up. It's a little bit of their effort, their money. You've got a small downline growing. But as that grows and they grow their downlines, and you keep investing into the growth, all of a sudden you start getting more benefits. Well, now your time can come down a little bit. You don't have to invest quite as much time and still stay solid. But as your organization grows and it gets more people investing a small amount of time and effort into growing, what really happens is this magic that we call leveraged income, where now you're in a position where, with just a little bit of your time and a little bit of your money, you've leveraged other people's time and other people's effort, which really is the most amazing cash flow in a wealth quadrant that we've ever imagined. So when you think about the wealth quadrant, you've got to look at it and say, where's the wealth side? Well, obviously, it's other people's money and other people's efforts. At the same time, you've got to ask yourself where the tax side is. And if you're an employee, you're going to get hit with a higher percentage of tax liability. It's just the way that it works. So the question is, where do you spend your effort? Do you want to put your effort into the wealth side or into the tax side? And, I hope that most of you, this may be one of those moments where you hadn't realized this before, that you really do want to start moving your efforts into the wealth side. Okay, so we know what you want. You want money. That's what's going to get you the things that you want in life. So how will you get it? There's some options, and I'm just going to go through a few real quickly. Let's talk about the stock market. That is an option, but there's a lot of risk, and most people can't really look at that as their retirement option. That does just hold too much risk, and there's not as much leverage. It's such a timing thing. Let's talk about the government. Most people are not going to find everything that they need through the government. That's a very minimalistic option for most people. Let's talk about family and friends. There are some people who, their life is good because their family and friends left them financially set. But most of the time, that isn't what happens. Most of the time, that is not how you can look at your future and just determine that that's what's going to take care of you. The lottery is one of my favorite things to talk about, because more people do invest in a lottery option, a one-time quick fix. I remember I was in New York for the last Powerball, option, and I just couldn't believe the numbers, the amount of investment that was in something that was so outlandishly not viable for the millions of people who invested in it. So again, that is not a good option. A franchise. A franchise has a great system, they have great track records, but they also come with high price tags, and those are not options for the majority of Americans. Small businesses are going out of business faster than most business options do. There's a lot of risk. There's a lot of that used to be a great option, just not as good anymore as what it is. So now we're left with a job and a home-based business, and we're going to talk about the differences in these two for just a few minutes. With a job, you start out as an employee, you work your way up the ranks into some form of management. If you're lucky, you get to that next level where you're an executive and you get a little bit of a higher salary, and pretty quick you get to that CEO position that we all covet. We know that not very many people are going to make it to that level, and this is really what we call the pyramid structure. There's a lot of employees, a few more in management, a very few executives, and one CEO. This is what we have learned to know as the 40-40-40 plan for a long time. The problem is the 40-40-40 plan is obsolete. It's now the 40-40 plan. You can work 40 hours a week for 40 years, but that last 40, that thing that you could retire on, for most people just does not exist anymore. Our grandparents, our parents, they were the ones in the industrial age that had that opportunity, but that is not an opportunity for most of us anymore. So let's compare that with the home-based business, where you get to start out as the CEO. You always get the choice of starting and being the CEO. And the amazing thing about this particular structure is how you find success is you go find more CEOs, people who want to be in that CEO position, people who want to build an organization, people who want to tap into that residual income stream. We call this the 3 to 5 year plan. Now you notice that's not the 3 to 5 month plan, it's the 3 to 5 year plan. It does take some time to develop a residual income stream, and most people, if they really do plug in, follow what they're supposed to do, work with a company that is solid and is going to be here a long time, really can achieve their dreams in that 3 to 5 year mark. So with that amount of information, could you or someone you know benefit from a business opportunity? And I think we all know that the answer is yes. Every person that is living, breathing, walking around, the future is going to be plugging into great business opportunities. It is a proven system. So how do you evaluate a business opportunity? And I want to start here with the 4 essentials of an opportunity. Again, the opportunity quadrant. It has to have a unique and protected product. It has to have an expanding market, has to meet the timing and trends, and it also has to offer leverage. These are the 4 things that absolutely have to be there if you're going to be in a successful business venture. So let's talk about unique and protected and what that means. It must be a category creator with technology that is not available anywhere else. Network marketing is designed for introducing products and services to the world that have not been previously available. If you are seeing infomercials and commercials on TV about a product, that's not a good product for a network marketing company. This industry, business opportunities were designed around things that we're introducing to the world that require that story, that's why we get paid, is to take new technologies to the world. I want to go into just a little bit and talk to you about something that maybe you've never even thought of before, a thing called transformational technology. And I want to tell you a little bit of a story about what a transformational technology is. It's something that is going to transform the way that we do business, the way that we enjoy life. It's going to change our futures. I want to tell you a story about the transistor. And, Bell Labs were developing a thing called the transistor, and so were a couple of other people. But Bell Labs they got in a position where they put it on the market. there was a little guy in Japan, can't even remember his name, but he read about the fact that this transistor was going to be put on the market. And we all know that, those of us who remember back in the day when TVs had to warm up, the transistor changed the world of we used to have these things called vacuum tubes, and it replaced them and changed technology forever. Well, this guy from Japan decided he wanted to be part of history. If nothing else, he just wanted to be there as this transformation was unveiled to the world. And so he flew from Japan to New Jersey, went to this, and he was able to procure the rights to the transistor. And as he did that, the Sony Corporation was born. Now, one thing that I want you to understand is we're kind of sitting on a Sony moment right now. The ability to have a transitional technology is so profound that it's changed the marketplace everywhere. You have to be a visionary to recognize a transformational breakthrough, which is now where I get to introduce you to Vertus Norton. Vertus Norton is the founder, the key individual responsible for our technology, for our product, for our science. And this is the story around Vertus. Vertus was the head of strategy for Kraft General Foods, had retired from that and was a sought after consultant. He was asked to sit on the board of a biotech company. And when he was asked by this particular company, he was in a position where he was reluctant a little bit, had to make sure that the science and technology that they had told him about was real. So he was in a position, he did his homework, he knew, just like this little guy in Japan, he knew that they had something that was remarkable, that was going to change the world. He got on their board, found out the company was not financially solvent, and was able to procure the rights to the technology that they had. And that has been the springboard to some amazing things. The major thing that we're going to talk about is redox signaling. From 1986 to 1996, the science, that's where the foundation for the science of the field of redox signaling was founded, and that is the foundation of our product. We are the first redox signaling product. There were a Nobel Prize awarded in this field, and again, this is something that took a lot of foresight in the people that were in the process of bringing this technology to the world. This is a 20-year-old process. The legacy of this product that we are bringing to the world has taken 20 years for you to hear about it tonight. Well, Vertus was on the golf course. Most of you may have heard the story about how they decided to put an investment group together, procure the rights to the redox signaling with James Pack. And Dr. Gary Samuelson was the medical atomic physicist who played the part in stabilizing our product and bringing it about. Now, ASEA's, we're not going to go a lot into the product tonight. Again, the details of this product, the questions that you have are going to be well served as you ask more questions, want to learn more about the product. We've got great videos, all kinds of things to help you understand the science of our product. But our purpose here tonight is to talk about the opportunity of our product. As we go through the process of ASEA's 3-step patented process, we are protected by multiple layers of international patents. The first step is we start with salt water, a pristine saline solution. Step 2, that saline solution is broken down into free floating atoms. And step 3, they are restructured and stabilized redox signaling molecules. So when you look at our bottle, it's going to say salt water. because that's the ingredients that go in. It is the most amazing process. And if you haven't watched the videos on exactly how this process works, I invite you to get back with the person who invited you here tonight to make sure that you've seen that story. So, for the first time in history, a transformational breakthrough technology is entering the market through a network marketing company. Now, let me explain what this means right now. The majority of network marketing companies are simply carving out market share of existing technologies, of existing industries, of existing product lines. And those products have went into the billions of dollars without any kind of technology, transformational technology. The thing that is so amazing about our company and our product is the fact that for the first time in history, a transformational technology is entering the marketplace through a network marketing company. And when you think about the possibilities of what that means when you are comparing opportunities, it's really one of those mind-blowing things for me. So we're going to talk a little bit more about the unique and protected. It has to possess the ability to eliminate the infiltration of competition from entering the market. The longer that we can be exclusive, if we have 10 years or 20 years or 30 years, every year that we have zero competition puts us at a competitive edge in the industry. Okay, now we've got to talk about expanding markets. ASEA addresses two distinct trillion-dollar markets, both the sports performance and the health and wellness. These are amazing multi-trillion-dollar industries, and we have a unique answer for that. We also, when we look at the expanding markets, it's what countries. I mean, this is a product consumed by any age human being around the world. There is no limitation as to who our product will help and no border that it won't infiltrate. We are currently in 16 countries and growing. Let's talk about timing and trends for just a minute. Again, where you want to try to get into a pre-momentum state and an opportunity to create leveraged income for years to come. So think about this. In the last 30 years, we've primarily focused, all of our market infiltration has been nutritionals, vitamins and minerals, antioxidants. If you go in the store, you would be surprised where you're going to find the word antioxidant. And yet 30 years ago, nobody had ever heard of it. You know, obviously, 7-Up is leveraging antioxidants at this point in time, exotic juices. So that's where we've spent the last 30 years. Those have been the opportunities of the past. What's the opportunity of the future? It's redox signaling molecules, and it's ASEA. When you look at timing and trends, you've got to look at where the graph is going, where you've got a period of time, which is usually a couple of years of the foundation being laid in an opportunity and with a company. And then we go into a full concentration stage. That concentration level can be several years long. It's where we get ready to really go into what we call momentum, which is where we get the real vertical growth in an opportunity. This momentum growth, this vertical growth can last multiple years, three to 5 years, sometimes just 1 to 2 years, depending on the health of the company. And then you get to a stability point. One thing that we know for sure is because we're transformational technology, we have no idea how high or how long that momentum curve is going to last before we hit stability. So let's talk about critical mass and where ASEA is. And ASEA is right here. We're firmly in the concentration phase. We are getting ready to go into the critical mass momentum phase within the next year. And so this is an absolute perfect time to maximize the opportunity that is ASEA. Then we have leverage. So we're at the point where we get to talk about compensation plan. Again, I'm not going to go into the details of the compensation plan. Those are all available to you as you need them. What I do want to do is go into the simple business of teaching two people to reach two people and duplicate that effort. If you can help two people achieve their goals. It is an amazing thing to do this. But if this is something new to you, one of the things that you've got to understand is expectations and timing. And this little diagram is going to introduce you to the compounding effect of leverage, the power of leveraged income. And this is done based on this. Again, we're not making any income claims. We're just simply doing this is a teaching tool to help you that if you were to take a full 30 days to find your two people, and they took a full 30 days to find their two people. At the end of 3 months, you would have a total organization of 14 people, and you'd be, at just one bonus earning of, $70 a month. And this is just based on one case per month um, ordering. So this is a very minimal amount of what you could do. Now, doing the exact same thing for the next 3 months with perfect duplication happening, you would now have an organization of 126 total people, and you would be making in excess of $600. And for most people, if they really understood the difference that $600 a month in residual income can make in their lives, I don't understand why everybody wouldn't want to do a little bit of work to create that power. But watch what happens in the next 3 months. If everyone were empowered to do that same duplication process the next 3 months, now all of a sudden that 126 has gone to over 1,000 associates and over a $5,000 income. Now this is the point where we change lives. This can change your zip code. And I almost don't want to talk about what will happen if 3 more months of duplication happens, because the numbers get quite staggering. But 3 more months of duplication, and this truly is the power of leverage. You've got over 8,000 people now in your organization making over $40,000 a month in residual income. So my question to you is, would it be worth it to make that effort to create that duplication, even if you failed 90% of the time? At a 90% failure rate, you're still at a $4,000 a month residual income. And if you stop to add up how much money you would have to have in savings, in an income producing vehicle to create $4,000 of residual income in your life, and you know that is all you've got to do is put in some effort, help some people, and duplicate that process. It certainly is a lot easier to take a vehicle like network marketing to do that. So here's the next question: why do most people fail? If this is a simple business, if this is a business that is empowered by things that will empower people, change people's lives, and make your life better, then why do most people fail? And it comes down to two things. One, they listen to the wrong people. Sometimes they get involved with things that really aren't great opportunities, and people that don't have experience. We want to be able to make sure that people follow people who are successful. And the other thing is that they don't have a system to follow. And this is probably the one thing that is responsible for more people failing in this industry than anything else, is that people sign them up, but there's no system to follow. So I want to talk just a little bit about leverage with systems and supports. It's just like if you're going to climb a mountain, you need to be prepared. You need to have a guide. You need to have somebody that knows their way. You need to do and follow very specific things. It's all about effort. It's all about training. It's all about support. And let me introduce you to our system. We have created for you one of the most state-of-the-art duplication systems that has all of the training, the management tools, the education that you are going to need to be guided step by step to success in this business. You're going to be able to plug directly into some place that you're going to be able to master some major things. And we're going to focus on training you. Then we're going to focus on how you leverage and recruit people. And then we're going to teach you how to manage. And those are the three key things that if you can master those three simple things in your life, you definitely can find success in this business and amazing health while you're moving through. So if we know what you want and we've helped you know how to get it, then what are we waiting for? What is holding us back from having this? And I want to talk just a little bit about a thing called social proof. Social proof really is the thing that people wait for to act. Social proof is people having product results. They are the testimonials, they are your stories. I know many of you on here tonight have had absolutely life changing results because of this product, because of this technology, because this is available to you. And those are the powerful stories. That is the social proof that allows a product like ASEA to go worldwide. Some of the other social proof that people are looking for is they're looking for the social proof of science, and we definitely have that. You can look at any amount of, any of the Google things to be able to know that this science is definitely the cutting edge science that we are moving forward on. And we've got great information about that to help you with that too. We've also got social proof on our product. Dr. Neiman has been able to do the testing that proves that our product is what we say it is, that we do have stabilized redox signaling molecules, that science is true and it's valid, and that social proof is available to you. We've also got social proof on network marketing. The majority of people now that have anything to do with financial integrity have all given their stamp of approval to the fact that network marketing is going to be the wave of the future as far as being able to create wealth and the new professional edge for our future. So let me ask you a couple of questions. These are questions that you need to ask yourself. The first one is, are you working on your dream? Are you working on someone else's? And if you go back to that quadrant where you look at the comfort zone and your effort and being an employee, you're definitely working on someone else's dream if you're not in the other side of the quadrant where you're now working on your own. And I would just challenge all of you to be able to take that step. We have an absolutely the ability to help you cross over to that other quadrant. And here's the bigger question: what do you have to lose? Because you have to ask yourself what the risk is. What is the risk to do something, and what is the risk to not do it, to not take advantage of a product that has the potential to change your health, to minimize and protect your future. When I ask this question to people, it really is, you have no risk. This is a money back guarantee. You have tax advantages that are going to pay any investment that you've got into starting your business. Where not doing something, there's a huge amount of risk when you look back 2 or 3 years from now and realize that you had the opportunity to do something. And if you didn't, you look at people who did, you might be looking at someone who has definitely changed their life and yours is sitting still. So, I love the fact that I never have to put people at risk in order to invite them to engage with me in this business. And I want to kind of close the webinar tonight by telling you a story about someone who took some risk. And as many of you can recognize, this is a picture of Steve Jobs. And you all know that, he started with his Mac computer, and he went to John Sculley, who was the president of CEO, and asked him, or he was the CEO, he was something of Pepsi, but he told him that he wanted to come and bring him in as the CEO of his computer business, which he had just kind of started in his garage. And John Sculley looked at him and said, "Are you crazy? Why would I leave this position that I have and go with you on this risky adventure?" And Steve Jobs turned around to John Sculley and he said, "Are you going to sell sugar water the rest of your life? Or are you going to go with me and change the world?" And, John Sculley took a big risk to resign from Pepsi to go with Steve Jobs. So we're not asking you to take that kind of a risk, but we are asking you to come with us, to partner with us, to get your questions answered, find out what we have here. We really do have a technology. We have a product that really is changing the world one person at a time, one bottle at a time, one molecule at a time. And we invite you to come with us, change the world, change your future. Thank you for attending this webinar. Get back with the person who invited you to be here tonight, and just help us change the world. Thank you so much and good night.